All right, Jesse on fire with Play with Matches. My beautiful wife, Gabrielle. We are going to jump straight into this video because we have so much to cover here. It's crazy. The MrBeast situation has exploded. Gabrielle and I did a video yesterday covering this story. Thank God we didn't put the video out because
more news broke.
More news broke today that basically invalidated our opinion completely. I do have...
It's okay to change your mind, though.
I do have a call in with one of my very close friends who is very high up in the reality television world. And he is friends with people who are on that staff. So I am going to get an insider information call later, which I will then subsequently do another video on.
I want to know.
I talked to him as I was going to jiu-jitsu, and he was getting on a Zoom call, so he only had 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So I verified he knows everything, and then he had to jump off, and then we're going to talk later.
I'll tell him I said hi.
Of course. Anyway, so... that's what we're going to do. Now, this new video came out from Dogpack. This is the guy who did the original expose video that got like 12 or 13 million views and started a lot of the drama. I mean, obviously the KRIS Tyson thing where he's in chat rooms with minors. You know, there's no middle ground on that. It's like KRIS Tyson is a freak. Like he's a freak.
A freak.
Exactly. Yeah. Gabrielle, you can't say that word on the tube. You have to call him like a
map.
A map.
Yeah. Okay.
A minor attracted.
Which is the stupidest
A minor
term
attracted.
ever. Yeah. He's one of those.
So, yeah. All
Can't
of
say
that.
The P word.
We don't need to like relitigate that. We are 100% on the side of get that person as far away from children as possible. If I found out
humanity in general.
That KRIS was reaching out to one of my kids on social media, I would be like, hey, this sounds great. What's your address? What's your address, KRIS?
I'd love to meet you.
Her
name's Ava, please.
Dead name. I mean, in that case,
it was KRIS.
Dead name is appropriate, you know. Okay, so we're gonna jump right into this. Now, this is the new allegation that is really, really damning.
The one that's really rocking the boat right now.
It's very serious. And by the way, subscribe to our channel if you haven't yet. Share the content with your friends, so on, so forth, etc. But yeah, so this is the one where he exposes the fact that he had a registered S offender on staff knowingly. And this is really egregious. And so I'm going to hold
And it was like bad offense.
Very bad.
Like
this has been confirmed separately. I confirmed this separately that the guy, what he was convicted of was S with a kid at 11 years old or under. It says from age 1 to 11. The explanation that they gave publicly was that when he was 20, it was a 16-year-old girl. On the charging documents,
it was not that.
It says S with a minor, and it says age 1 to 11. So, I mean, it's possible they wrote it down wrong, but
doubtful,
unlikely.
Doubtful.
You know. So anyway, so this guy, I'm going to hold my opinion on this particular guy with the mullet because he is
the guy with the mullet's not the guy that did it. He's the guy that's
no, he's not the one that did it. But by the way, his dad has been in jail for a very long time for the exact same crime.
What is up with this group of people?
I don't know, man. That is
it makes you, this kind of shit does make you question MrBeast.
It's a lot of people with that
in his circle.
Them. That is a little bit weird. I will acknowledge that actually. Like
he's always given me like the heebie-jeebies. I don't know why. As I respect his game, I respect what he's created on YouTube, but he's always just kind of like made like my spidey senses go off, and I don't know why.
Yeah, he doesn't strike me as someone that I would like connect with if we were hanging out at all.
No,
like
zero.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk more about him, but I want to absolutely validate what you just said. That is a lot.
It's quite.
That's a lot of people in this circle who have that somewhere near him. He hired one for 100% sure. You had KRIS Tyson with all this weird, devious stuff going on that maybe he knew about, maybe he didn't. And then this guy who's telling the story has a father in jail for the same thing. That is weird, dude. I mean, I don't know. The only person I know is my teacher, and he was on the registry because he touched me. I'm just kidding. But it was pretty goddamn close. We invited him to my senior graduation party. Wow. Like that's how Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Let's watch this thing. I resized us a little bit because Gabrielle was so repelled by this guy's flavor saver that I didn't. If you guys don't, that's the
little hair here.
She's like, oh my God. I'm all, well, let's make us a little bigger so everybody doesn't have to
with
look.
his hair. All of the hair on his head is wrong.
It is horrendous. All right. So this is him
Sorry,
talking
that was
about
mean.
the.
I don't usually say mean things about people, but
yeah.
That's bad.
Well, here we go. He's talking about the predator that worked for MrBeast.
Proof that he knew but covered it up. How do you prove that, Well, there was a known sex offender, registered sex offender, convicted sex offender on the registry and everything.
That word over and over again.
Who worked there. And like you can, someone pees in public, you're on the registry, you get it. You can still have a job after you're on that's one thing.
And remember, this guy is an apologist for those people because his daddy's in jail for that.
You go to prison, you get rehabilitated.
Being a kitty did.
Maybe he peed in public.
Kitty diddler. Oh yeah, you go to prison for that?
That's what I'm just saying. That's what he just said.
Okay.
That's one thing. Like if you do your time, that's fine. I think there should be rehabilitation in this country. But that guy,
can't rehabilitate.
From what I hear, I can't confirm or deny. From what I hear, he's on the registry for doing some not great stuff to some underage people.
Yep.
And they knew that. And he's working at a channel that has underage people on and around and is targeted to underage people. And
that's another reason that the thing about the connection to all these guys with the kitty diddlers is egregious.
Because it's a child's channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
brought
what
up the fact that not only did he work there, but he was like the manager when it all started.
Does his shirt say poop.org?
And
this guy, I really...
Listen, we are going to get into this guy.
Sorry,
Save it so we can get through this story, but trust me, we are going to spend plenty of time. I am going to eviscerate this guy in the second half.
Stand by.
Eviscerate him.
You know that he knew, and because he'll be in videos, he'll be in thumbnails, he'll be around, and whenever he is, he's wearing a mask. Why would you wear a mask? Why would you conceal your face? It's like, what are you concealing? That you are a registered sex offender? And that your face could be looked up on a thing? How much more can you literally cover up a sex offender?
Oh my.
With a physical mask? Like, do I have to... Is it more on the nose? Or... I don't know why they let him go, because there's rumors back and forth. So I don't know why they let him go, but he did leave at one point. Even if that guy didn't do anything, they still knew about it and he was still around. And what if he's one of the people in the Discord servers? What if he's not? I don't know.
Okay. Even if he didn't do anything, he's on the list as a convicted one. Like, this is the thing.
Tried, convicted.
Convicted. And you're hiding his face in videos. Listen.
That are geared towards children.
Here's the bottom line. My instinct throughout this whole thing has been to defend MrBeast across the board. I think that most of these accusations are a bunch of jealous little kids who have been working for MrBeast, and that's it. And
I do agree with that.
They have no experience in the real world, and so all they do is complain, and they're entitled. Why wasn't I getting paid more? And oh my God, they did this. And they're literally just talking about standard basic things that it would obviously take to run a company. MrBeast, people think of him as a YouTuber. He has the biggest show in history.
Right.
There has never been a larger show than MrBeast
even on, like,
ever.
Cable networks.
Not even close.
That's what I'm saying. Like, across the board, not just the biggest YouTube show. Like,
the most highly watched, like the season finale or series finale of Game of Thrones, okay, got a third of the same number of viewers that he averages every video on YouTube.
But now I really wonder about bots and paid for views. I have so many questions about the whole MrBeast situation.
I don't know, dude, because him and YouTube has a like and I explained to you how the YouTube kind of system works, and for anybody who's actually interested in this, I'll explain it. It's like the system used to be driven exclusively by the engagement metrics as well as the click-through rate, the
watch
engagement
time.
Metrics, the likes, dislikes, comments. Mm-hmm. And if people did very well there, then they would be shown to more people. And there was that was basically it. And then as the system got more advanced, they started kind of like deciding what kind of content would do this.
Yeah. It was kind of like Facebook, where like if someone got a comment, it used to bump it back up to the top. Like the same simplistic algorithm.
Yeah. But at a certain point, they recognized that they were unintentionally creating some of the most influential people in the entire world who were just sitting in their basement like, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, why would we provide this incredible influence that we have as Google and YouTube to just any rando dumbbell? Like, I agree with them to run it, at least because that's how I would do it.
Yeah, it's a business, and they have to think about ad dollars and where advertisers are going to spend their money, and where they're going to want their stuff shown. 100%.
There's only so many views to go around, and if people are watching content that advertisers are like, I'm not going anywhere near that nutbag,
then it makes no money for YouTube.
Exactly. So why do you think they throttle MrBeast? It's like
wholesome,
it's wholesome,
family.
You know, exactly. I mean, it's not.
But now,
and he's helping people. You know, all of that. So like, he's a very close partner with YouTube. So again, people seem jealous to me and whatever.
I don't disagree with that.
Is egregious though. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, even though it happened in 2017 and MrBeast is 26, so that makes him. So he was 19 at the time that this guy got hired. I don't have any idea what the size of his organization was.
Yeah, what HR, if there was HR, who was hiring who was doing background checks.
Yeah, so long. But still, like a night, I got to be honest with you, I don't remember what it felt like to be 19 in terms of my ability to kind of discern information. Like now, I'm a stone professional where I've gone through many, many different roles in many different companies. And like the idea of having a person like that from a corporate perspective is absolutely unfathomable.
Right.
That's number one. But
how long was he there? When was he let go?
I think he was there for like a year or something like that.
Okay.
But on the other side of it, I know when I was 19, having no experience in corporate, I would know that guy banged a kid.
So he's not allowed here.
Like that guy banged a kid?
Yeah.
No.
He's not allowed to be here as in like alive.
Absolutely not anywhere near this or any other thing that I'm ever doing.
Or like, as a human being, why would you want him even close in your circle?
Exactly. And there, it's like, you put a mask on him. You knew, like someone at least knew.
That to me is not a one-to-one. That to me is like correlational, not necessarily causal. Like I don't.
What do you mean? The fact that he's wearing a mask? Oh, dude. There's no one else who's ever been masked every time they come on.
I don't know. But was that maybe his own thing? Like, hey, I want to wear a mask. Like maybe he created that character because he didn't want to get found out.
How did this guy even know? Everybody knew,
know.
Apparently.
That part I don't know.
Unless people didn't know, and then when they found out, he got fired.
Yeah.
That's the only way that you could spin this, where it's like, okay, you know.
Yeah.
That's the only way. But if they really did know and he was on staff, that is indefensible from my 100%. Perspective, given their audience.
And I guess in MrBeast's defense, although like I did say he gives me the heebie-jeebies, if you are running the largest show in the world that is geared towards minors, you would probably attract a lot of the nutsy cuckoos, horrible people that I can't say the word of.
Like Disney.
Yeah, towards you because you're a magnet for the kids and... You know, I mean,
they are, when you call them predators,
they are predators.
That is what they are.
Yes, they are hunting.
They go into jobs like talent agents in Hollywood, and they're like, oh, I'll make you a star. Mm-hmm. You know, like that is what they do. They are predators. That is why I have always said it is very unfortunate for you that you were born with this genetic defect, but you need to be removed from the gene pool.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Kind of.
So anyway, so that's the one story that we are going to give MrBeast.
And we're going to talk about MrPoop.org shirt?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But I also just wanted to show this one thing from Kavos' video where he's showing this new allegation.
Who's Kavos again?
He's a 7-figure subscriber.
I remember liking his background.
Commentary channel.
Okay.
He hammers people.
Okay.
And I think, I don't know, what's the right way to put this? He is definitely one of those guys that I can tell is going to look for a way to hammer people because he's always going to hammer. Like he's a hammer in search of a nail. And so like maybe there might be a situation that in real life he doesn't necessarily think like whatever, but he's going to hammer him because that's his brand.
Yeah.
That's my only critique of him.
Maybe, I mean, is it a critique? Seems like he's doing pretty well.
I just mean I don't respect people hammering people for stuff that is stupid and obviously it's not.
I agree, but it's like what we've always been saying. If the algorithm says to you, this is the kind of content that works for you, you keep doing it.
Of course.
So
No, I don't disagree with that. I'm just saying I can't do it. Like, if I don't agree, like, if I hammer someone, believe me, I 100% believe what I am saying. Anyway, so on this one, this is one of the ones that I think he's out over his skis on because this is MrBeast's ex-girlfriend, who all of a sudden out of nowhere has a story. I need to tell my truth. Speak my truth. So listen to this real quick, and then we'll go back to.
Hang on, before we move on to this. Ex-girlfriend of how long? How long were they dating? When did they break up?
They've been broken up for 3 years.
Okay, and they dated for how long?
Not sure.
Okay.
From MrBeast's ex-girlfriend, and she had some very strong words to say about. She doesn't mention him by name, but I think it's fairly obvious it's about him.
100% it's about him.
Firstly, on her Instagram, she said, at YouTube, you need to reevaluate who you're putting on the trending page. And then she put out this huge Instagram post. I've spent years being quiet, never acknowledging that time in my life, just quietly cheering on those who I saw mistreated. I don't want drama. I don't want anything. I just want to speak up for my 19-year-old self.
I don't want drama. I don't want anything. So in the middle of a massive avalanche of negative criticism towards my ex-boyfriend, I decided now's the time.
I'm going to jump in.
19 to 21 are formative years, and as a young woman, it impacted the way I saw myself, the way I interpreted my future, and how I trusted men.
Now, from here, very important. Listen to what she says specifically, okay? Because I am victim, blah, blah, blah. What are you implying? Because if you're not being specific, then I'm assuming, oh, he was mean to you. He said you weren't pretty. He didn't tell you you were pretty. He told you were annoying.
There was no user manual. There was no instructions on how to deal with gaining a following quickly. No cheat sheet on dating someone famous. I did the best I could, but I was not okay.
Not his fault.
Months of therapy, so many journal entries, long talks with my mum. Why do I still feel like it was all for nothing? I believe I should be used as a cautionary tale. If something is too good to be true, it probably is.
Because he broke up with you? Because he didn't have time to hang out with you and you got upset and then he broke up with you? Because that's, I mean...
How he treats other women will ultimately be how he treats you. You are smart, beautiful, and capable of a career, life, and relationship you're proud of. I do not aim to take anyone down, just simply...
Oh, no? Hey, she doesn't aim to take anyone down. So what's your goal? What are you doing?
Exactly.
Explicitly tell you that there are scary people out there. People will hurt you, use you, spit you out, and then tell you it's your fault.
There you go.
Oh, those are the allegations.
So, again, scary people, that's completely non-specific.
Yeah.
That means nothing. And then people will hurt you. That means nothing. Use you, nothing. Spit you out and then tell you it's your fault. That sounds like what she's been talking about with her therapist, which is like he's annoyed by her and he's like, Jesus, I have a career. Leave me alone.
Maybe, but...
It's all our jobs to protect our friends, our mums, our wives, our sisters, our daughters, ourselves from people like that. If you see something not cool, speak up. So some very...
Okay, so again, are you telling me...
Say anything.
Exactly. Are you telling me that she went through all of that and then didn't come with a single specific example? Nothing. Nothing.
Not
that. What that sounded like was he's mean to me, or you know.
What
like
that sounds like is I need attention.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
all that sounds like to me.
Thank you.
Very strong language.
And again, we have 3 daughters. I feel like I always have to like hammer that home. Like I default to give the girl her fair shake. This. Oh, now? Really?
How
many
Jimmy in this post. I'm confident enough.
A lot higher now.
That's what I'm saying. People are trying to like ride the coattails of this. It's crazy.
I mean, you read it. It's definitely about him. Calling him a scary person and that, you know, they will hurt you, use you, treat you poorly. It is vague and there's not enough detail into what has actually occurred or if there's any truth to it. But it's pretty crazy. On top of everything, now we're getting this. She then posted on Twitter saying 3 years away from that...
Still going and going and
3 years away from that weirdo. My skin is clear.
I do believe that he's weird.
My relationship and friendships are flourishing.
My skin is clear?
Yeah, I'm frolicking in a field. She's so vague. She said nothing. Yeah, you did. from the looks of it, I don't need to, heart. Not putting myself through that shit again, but thanks.
Why are you doing? You are. You're quite literally doing.
What are you doing?
This is what you don't want to go through it again. Then just shh.
You're literally doing exactly what you're saying. You are throwing yourself out there,
front and center,
and just not saying his name because you think that saves you from a lawsuit, but it doesn't.
No.
You have been very clear that you are going there, and he can very easily sue you for slander.
This is such a strange post, though.
It's
3 years
a
away from
joke.
that weirdo. My skin is clear.
Oh, that probably means that he was like, you should, maybe you should start with some like face cream. She's
I don't understand really what. I kind of get it, like you're stressed out and like whatever.
I'm frolicking in a field.
But like, why include that line? The whole thing is bizarre. But I am with her. I do think he's a weirdo. But I will say that.
That's fair. All right, let's see if this is a good clip to demonstrate this guy's personality.
Jimmy really enjoys doing good and helping people.
I think Jimmy wants to be the best YouTuber. I think he is laser focused on one goal. And I think whatever he has to do to achieve that goal, he'll do. And I think it was the smartest decision for him that he calculated, because he's very good with numbers. If I donate to charity, people can't say I'm shitty. If I give this homeless guy 10K, what do you mean I'm a bad guy? But I've always thought, if you're going to do something nice for somebody,
listen to his logic here,
and you stick a camera in their face while you do it, then you didn't do a nice thing for somebody. You gained something. There was a homeless guy on the street, and you saw an opportunity for yourself and your image, and you gave one guy $10,000 who needed it to eat, and now the revenue you generated from that video is way more than what you gave. I think when he's generous on camera, it's the least authentic thing in the world. There's an element of, oh, hey, you're crying. That's so good for camera. I'm so glad if you're crying because you're so thankful that you got XYZ, and then you go, oh, I'm so glad he needed it that bad so I could come in and, can you cry more? Oh, it's so good for the camera if you could.
Okay, so now, I'm sorry, this was the perfect clip for what I'm talking about. So, if you look at the world the way that I do, which is as a person who does believe in capitalism and so on and so forth, it's like what you just described was a person in need got something that drastically improved their situation. Mm-hmm. Simultaneously, the person who provided it to them also won because they found they're benefiting from the reason that they were able to improve that person's life is because they're running a show and a company that generates money from giving to people. And yes, they film it and they turn it into entertainment because that's what drives the revenue, which enables them to give to more people. Yeah.
One could also make the argument that when you do good deeds on camera, you inspire others to go do good deeds.
Correct. So this guy, I would bet my life if you dug into his politics, this guy is like a communist, like he's one of these like far leftist communists.
Socialist, yeah.
And you'd be like, and you try to explain this to him, you're all, okay, so you understand that in your way, right? No one does anything good. Yeah. Like you think no, because we would all do something good. No, you wouldn't.
We've had this conversation. This works in tribes, not on a global scale.
This has been tested.
Yeah.
No, that is not what will happen because you are not in the possession or you have no ability to help anyone because only a very tiny group, much more powerful than MrBeast at that point, has control of all of the resources. There is no wealth among the citizenship, so no one can help anyone.
Yeah.
So, you're wrong. And saying that someone benefits, if you find a way to help people
and get
while
paid
simultaneously benefiting yourself, that's called a win-win.
Yes.
It's not called some kind of dishonest whatever thing. It's
I agree.
It's just like, it's a way of looking at the world that is like, it's so diametrically opposite to how I see the world. Now,
it's very just simple-minded.
Stupid.
I think. Yeah.
It's stupid.
I mean, we would all love to live in a world where everybody got everything that they needed. There's no one out there who doesn't want that, for all of humanity to be healthy and fed and have access to stuff. Everyone wants that. But in reality, when you actually try to put something like that into practice, it doesn't work globally.
Yes. It's the difference between like people who think that because they would like a thing to be this way, however, they've never run a business even or run anything of importance. They've never tried to solve like challenging situations that require a bunch of collaboration all the way down. Like you've never done anything. And so you sit at your low level position, which is where you'll be your entire life, best case scenario versus unemployed. And you look up at the people who are doing that and you try to find reasons that what they're doing is wrong and bad because it makes you feel better about being on the bottom. You know, and you can tell yourself you're a good person and they're a bad. I'm just not. I'm just not willing. I'm not willing to do the things they do. You mean cure 1,000 people's blindness and make a video about it? Yeah. You mean like that? Like it's like this is how I see the entire young left-wing population is just like this. Like a bunch of people who are like, I'm like. You know, I'm talking like the hyper left, not just like Democrats.
No,
I mean, like,
like I said, they have good intentions. It's a good intention feeling to want that for everyone, but it's just stupid to think that it's actually possible.
It's actually most stupid to think that you personally, guy, are in a position to chastise anyone who's helping another person when you've never helped anybody. And if you were put in charge of any of these things, nothing would get done. If you really believe that you would be able to solve the same level of problems, like I don't disagree with him that if you do something to help a person and then you gain something from it, that it's not exactly the same as just grabbing $10,000 and going and just handing it to someone with no recognition. I agree with that.
100%.
But if you want to do it at scale, no one has enough money to just be giving it to everybody unless they're like Bill Gates or something. And we all know he's going to need that money to invest in, you know, all kinds of new, anyway. But, so it's just like a common sense thing. It's like that benefit ends up helping way more, like tons and tons of people. Yeah. So just like think it through, dude.
No, that's too much thinking for him.
So let's see if he says any other really smart things here in the short term.
It made me uncomfortable when I was working there, and I didn't like it, and I vocalized it sometimes, and I think that's why I wasn't on camera as much as they said I was going to be.
I didn't like working there, and I vocalized it. I felt uncomfortable, and I vocalized it. Oh, because that's usually a really good, you know, career choice. And it's like, social cohesion in a company requires everyone to get on the same page. You're all, I feel uncomfortable with this because blah, blah, you're all, okay, you can find your way to another job then.
I was told at one point that I was going to be like fourth banana, you know, it was going to be Jimmy, Chris, Chandler, me, you know, and then that never happened. And I remember talking about that, like, hey, I thought my contract said XYZ. And then I got the severance checks. So, you know, whatever.
I wonder why.
So after your severance checks, how was your relationship with the company? I know you appeared in videos after that.
This is the original expose guy. Okay. So this is, we've actually talked enough about this where I want to show you this. So this is Dogpack. Okay. Started a channel, put out this video right here 2 weeks ago, which got 12 million views. Okay. I don't even know if this channel was monetized or is monetized. He better fucking hope so, because this 12 million, as I can tell you from personal experience, that's about $56,000 if it was monetized. Actually, maybe more since it's a 54-minute video. Could be worth much more.
His channel only has 2 videos?
Correct. Wow. And he has 484,000 subscribers.
This is all so wild.
And he has absolutely no talent whatsoever. Okay. And then he's doing this one. So like what I was going to say is...
So that's the guy, the other weirdo looking dude?
Yes. He's the one that did the big expose. Now, when I say no talent, what I mean is no on-camera talent. Because he actually did do a very good job in the first one, kind of like itemizing the thing. Like he took a lot of time on the video that he did, and he did a good job.
He created a good piece of content, but he's not like a star.
Like at all.
Yeah.
However, he now has, I mean, look, dude, look, Dogpack, that's your fucking profile picture? Just a dog?
I'm okay with that.
So, but anyway, going forward, you have 2 videos that have done outlandish.
That's like internet speak.
Yeah, it means like, you know,
not found or whatever. Yeah.
But now you've done outlandish. No one with no previous profile does 20 million views and gets 500,000 subscribers in 2 videos.
Yeah.
No one.
Yeah.
So now you have this platform. What are you going to do with it? Because if you just start kind of just continuing to do the MrBeast thing, that's just not going to work. Like you'll get a
Where do
couple
you
more
go
videos.
next?
You need to have staff and you need to be investigating other I mean, I don't really love this idea.
Vice type.
But what you can do, Dog Pack, is you continue with the MrBeast story as long as there's, meat on that bone, but you need to be preparing to pick up other projects and have people reaching out to you. So you should be soliciting, people who work for companies that can, or organizations that can come and then you can have them on.
Type.
Yeah. And you can do your drab. So, what else happened?
Seriously.
After?
I was like, what? Who is this?
I couldn't be that uninteresting if I tried. Like, really. Like,
Monotone
if I tried.
doesn't exist for you. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, so after every time I actually try to do that in videos, because I'm like, fuck, I need to tone it down. I go like as low as I can. Then I watch the video back. I'm like, it's exactly the fucking same. It's exactly the same.
It's loud by nature.
Yeah. Anyway, that's probably enough.
Bye.
Love you guys.